Hello, everybody. Hello, this is Thigh Company here. We're on the Thigh Company YouTube channel here with another Sped sister story, another Sped sis story here. And for today's Sped sis story, we are basically giving you the most recent update as to what's been going on with Sped sister. She's really trying to be a ghost now, trying to ghost everybody. It's sort of an update off the last Sped sister ghost story video that we did before a long time ago. And for this Sped sister story, basically Sped sister has decided to essentially stop answering everybody's calls, messages, everybody from the family, Sped dad's side of the family, the Russian side of the family, nobody is able to get a hold of her now. She's still living up in Virginia somewhere off towards the coast. And basically what happened was we were sending some money over for her to help fix her car. Okay. And I'm also on Discord here with Choppa, kind of talking about a few stuff here too. But Choppa, remember when we were talking about before that, like I sent her some money. I think my grandma sent her some money and my mom sent her some money. So three of us. And we sent her several $1,000s for her to fix her car. And the story was that she apparently messed up the transmission in her car. And for her to fix it, they said like all kinds of crazy numbers, like $2,000, $3,000. Highest number we heard was $6,000 to fix the transmission. And I remember at one point I had consulted with my Turkish neighbors, asking them what their thoughts on the whole situation was. And they said that the transmission, and I think her car's a Nissan. I don't know what kind of Nissan, what specific model, but she said that, or the Turkish neighbors were saying that for the specific Nissan model that she has, that the transmissions on those cars cost a lot. So they say it was just better to sell the car as is. And so the next thing we had noticed, we started kind of trying to figure out what's really going on, because turns out what she decided to do behind our backs, instead of using the money towards repairing the car, she just took the money and started using it for whatever she wanted to use. For example, buying food for herself, buying food for this family that she's living with, as if they're not, capable of buying food on their end. And she's buying food for like the kids of this other family. And we don't know why she's doing that. Plus, she starts spending money on all kinds of stuff like new clothes, makeup, other personal items. And we started finding out eventually that Sped sis was spending this money on stuff we really would have never guessed she would be spending the money on. Like she had this photo of her coming out of some store buying these $80 Cuban cigars, and we were really confused where she was getting this money from, and we think most likely that it's from the money that we sent to her. So we were very upset that she was doing that. My grandmother basically was like, I don't want to talk to you no more. But basically she wasn't calling her. And then, the couple of times that I've tried to call her to try to get some sort of conversation going, she's never answered the phone. I know my mom tried to call her a few times. She hasn't. I don't think she's answered directly when my mom's called her, but she would occasionally call my mom back, and she would always be in this mad Sped, loopy attitude, in this very Sped voice, kind of like, oh, hey, how are you doing? How's everybody else doing? In this clown voice. Hold up, close the door. Oh, my bad. I had the door open here. I realized everybody downstairs could hear everybody. So, but yeah, she wasn't answering anybody's messages, guys. And we've been trying to figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, we still have one or two ways we can kind of find out what's going on. And our Turkish neighbors offered to help us out by going, driving, taking us and taking everybody kind of up to where the Sped sister lives. But again, there's a little complication with that offer that they had. It's not like for free. Um, for them, it's like a business opportunity, but I'm not going to go too much to that area. But so yeah, so Sped basically is hiding in this like house or apartment somewhere in Virginia. We don't know where again exactly. Um, we could probably uncover that location though. It's not too difficult. But I guess she's decided to abandon everybody and everything in North Carolina and become a citizen of Virginia, a sovereign citizen, if you want to call it that. Uh, so, and we don't know what else is going on. I know that she got fired from one of her jobs. She was working in like a parks and recreation for I don't know if it was a government or a private park or a state or city thing. I don't know. There wasn't much clarity to that. Um, but basically, she was working there, and they fired her because she wasn't showing up to work. And I don't think she ever got the job working at that, drinking wine and painting place. I don't know what the name of that would be exactly. Tipsy paintbrush or something. I've heard that name before, but I don't think it's that. But yeah, she got fired from that. It's just the craziest thing now. She's not giving any kind of notice to anybody of what's going on. She doesn't call anybody. It's been at least weeks, if not months, since she's last talked to either my grandmother or somebody who's pretty much close. She refuses to talk to me. Um, and we're basically just kind of sitting this out, thinking that is it going to eventually come crashing down somehow. And it's at the point now where we're avoiding taking her to like Russia, for example. We're not wanting to do that because when she was last in Russia, she looked at it like a drinking vacation. We spent money on her to get tickets, and she was supposed to give money back to me for that too, and that never ever happened. So she owes me money for the plane tickets and for whatever I sent her for the car repairs. So unfortunately, I got to deal with that. Um, and that's all she's doing right now. Like I can literally try to figure out right now what she's been up to, and the only information that I have on my end is that she was buying again the cigars. She's probably buying. I won't be surprised if she's buying anything like alcohol or anything like that. I don't know again if that's what's going on or not. She's going on a lot of these like random parks and like museum stuff. And I'm so confused why she's doing that. Like she's going out to forests and to like lakes and stuff, and it's like unclear why. Other than I know she's taking like this wife of that family into the forest. Who knows for what reason? Um, and to art museums. And then they were trying to like they had this project at one point where they wanted to build a garden somewhere in this like somebody's like house, which was crazy. I mean, I don't even know how would you get authorization to have a garden if you're renting out a house. I don't know. That just to me seems really strange. And then where are you getting the money for that? Are you taking the money that we sent over there for gardening? That doesn't make any sense. So, we've been working with that, unfortunately. Otherwise, she has not been asking for any more money, which, we're not going to send her any more money because we sent her way too much at this point. Um, and we haven't heard any new news from any of her friends. No news from this family or from any ex-boyfriends or friends or whatever, other than the only minor thing that we've been hearing is that this family has been dealing with a lot of medical things, medical related expenses, medical issues, but we don't know the specifics exactly as to what. So unfortunately, we've been kind of handling that. Uh, what would you do, Uchapa, in this situation, man? Do you think it's smart for us to kind of like leave her alone and do not answer or reach out to her? Or what do you think? What would you do?
I told you already multiple times, leave her the fuck alone. She's retarded.
Leave her alone, yeah.
Money, but
yeah, that's what we're doing, man. We're just leaving her alone.
Your grandma has mercy on her, that's why.
I don't even know. Well, basically, my grandmother said that she don't want to talk to her no more. To Sped says. And
But she's lying, bro. If your sister comes right now, if your sister comes back in 2-3 weeks and says, "Can I get $10,000 or $2,000?" she's gonna be like, "Oh, you gotta give it to her."
I don't think she will be demanding of sending money. I think my grandmother has enough reason to understand that we sent her way too much money. And at this point, I consider her to be indebted to us financially. So she's got to make this money back somehow. And it's, upwards into thousands now. So it's, it's crazy at this point. So, but yeah, I don't think that my grandmother would just go out and start giving her a bunch of money like that. But it's hard to say. But you think that basically we should leave her alone at this point? Don't have any communication with her? Is that what you're basically saying, Uchapa? Your mic's muted, Uchapa. Anyway, so guys, we'll go ahead and wrap this up here for this Sped Sister story, man. So yeah, guys, if you want to hear more stories, let us know down below. Otherwise, if you have not already, subscribe to Thigh Company, subscribe to Thigh Company Gaming, hit the bell icon to get notifications, like this video, comment down below, and we'll see you all in the next live stream, guys. Peace out and take care.